Welcome to More Than a Brand podcast, the podcast for scaling founders who have hit the 100K mark and realize what got you here won't get you there. You built a fierce brand, but behind the scenes, you are struggling. Your leads are coming in, but your customer journey is leaking revenue because you're still the engine of your own business. Don't worry, I got you. My name is Lindsay Tramel-Jones, the People CXO and the CEO of Fierceified Creative and Consultant. This show is dedicated to the art and science of customer retention. We're here to help you move from being the bottleneck to being the architect of a customer experience that feels like home and scales like a machine. You've done the hard part by building the vision. Now let's build the machine. This is More Than a Brand. Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome to this episode of More Than a Brand podcast. Y'all, I am so excited to be joining y'all today and just giving y'all some information and some things that's been heavy on my heart while I've been working with my one-on-one clients and things that I've seen in the industry. And when I say industry, just in the small business space that is holding people back. So one thing that I've noticed is that when you are a creative-minded individual, regardless of what field you're in, when I say creative-minded, if you haven't been here before, I mean somebody that thinks creatively. It doesn't necessarily mean a photographer or a graphic designer, but someone that thinks creatively, and creating is the way that they are able to express themselves, and it's just their happy place and they enjoy doing it. That could be creating programs, creating a course, creating new products. So just creating anything in general for your business. If you are a creative CEO, you're always creating things. And that's okay when you're creating things that your customers actually ask for. What I've noticed, and I've been on both sides of this, both as a CXO and as a customer in businesses, that small business owners have this great idea and they love it. They're in love with it. And they launch it and they put it out there and nobody purchases or nobody is interested because your customers did not ask for that thing, sis. You just made it because you thought it was a great idea without knowing if it was the next logical step in your customer journey for your customers that you already have. I'll give you an example. So let's say there's a gym and you have a gym membership and you've been going to this gym religiously. Then all of a sudden they start offering this new class. And they keep pushing and pushing for you to join this new class. Let's do it. And you're like, why y'all keep asking me to join this class? I don't even want to take this class. How is this going to better prepare me for what I'm trying to accomplish at this gym? How is it going to help me reach my goals? So what happens as that creative CEO that created this new class is, one, they wasted resources. They wasted money. And most importantly, they wasted time. So they start feeling a little bit discouraged because people did not buy their product. The problem is you never asked them, or they never asked you to even come up with something that's remotely close to what you started offering. And let that sink in. So then another piece about when you are a creative-minded CEO, especially when it comes to retaining customers and making sure they stay in your business ecosystem, it has to be the right time for your business to implement that new thing. And I made a post about this not too long ago, but I have a few retainer clients and all across different businesses, all their process and all their journey, their personal journey on how they're going to retain clients look different. One of them, we had plans on launching a community because her customers has been asking for more accountability, more community, more resources to help them achieve their wellness goals. But based on where the business is and the other pieces of the business is, it wasn't the right time to launch this new product. Now, does that mean it's not going to launch ever? No, it just means that it's not time, and she does not have the capacity and the team doesn't have the capacity to make sure that it is launched and it gets the adequate amount of support so it can be successful and be the actual thing that the customers have asked for. That's why one of the things that I teach when I go through my methodology with Rise is you always want to evolve. Real talk, is your business currently a duct tape masterpiece? Like you're hitting your revenue goals, but behind the scenes you are struggling because your customer journey is manual, messy, and dependent on you to function? That's why I created Flow Tribe. This isn't a program, it's a 10-week engineering sprint for founders who've hit that 100K revenue and they're ready to stop being a bottleneck and holding things up. We use my proprietary RISE method to rewire your infrastructure. We alternate between brain weeks to learn the strategy and build weeks to actually deploy the systems. We start with a Flow MRI to find your invisible revenue leaks in 15 minutes. Listen. Stop patching processes and start engineering a flow. Apply for the next Flow Tribe cohort at flowtribe.co. That's FLOWTRIBE.co. Let's build your machine. Now back to the episode. And evolution doesn't necessarily mean rushing to make something else. Sometimes it means taking a step back and taking inventory of where you are within your business and what you're trying to accomplish. Another thing that sparked my interest this week is I saw a post that talked about your customer journey is a figment of your imagination. And it got me to thinking about customer journeys overall. And although I cannot and you cannot predict how a person is going to travel through your customer journey and through your business ecosystem, you can always predict what the destination is. And I'm going to give you an analogy because you know I love those. Just like a GPS, you put in the destination, but it gives you several routes on how you're going to get there. Sometimes it'll ask you, do you want me to get rid of tolls? Do you want to get rid of highways? It may take you 7 hours to get there versus my 2 hours because I'm taking tolls and highways, but you're still going to get to that destination. So when you're thinking about your customer journey and how your customers are moving through that business ecosystem, just know you cannot plan every stop, every rest stop, every bathroom stop, meet and gas, if they want to pay tolls or not. But you can predict the destination because you know what your services offer and you know what the promise is of those services that you're offering them. So once they get the promise delivered from your services, you can predict what the next destination is going to be. Just like when you're on a road trip, regardless of where I go, and if we're traveling with our kids and we know it's a long trip, we're going to have to stop and get some food, right? And we can predict, because we have a 4-year-old, that we're going to have to stop and go to the bathroom shortly after, let's say maybe a couple hours later, hour or two, because we've fed her and she's had something to drink. So that is a prediction. We don't know when it's going to happen, but we know it's going to happen because there's always there's a follow-on and there's a flow. As you are finishing up this quarter, because we still have about a month and a half, and you're planning and you're looking at what the next quarter looks like, if you are a creative-minded business owner and you have all these great ideas, I beg you, and I'm telling you to ask your customers what they want. I don't want you wasting time and resources on building something that your customers didn't even ask for. 1, it's a surefire way to confuse the ones you already got. And 2, is you're going to be disappointed. And you're really going to be disappointed because nobody bought it. And it was Erykah Badu who said it best. She said, I am an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. You are sensitive about it. And it's understandable because it's something you created. And the last piece I want to leave you with as this creative-minded CEO running this small business is take a step back. Because you create the thing, because you create the course, the PDF, or whatever, you have to have the capacity to build the follow-on pieces to make that thing successful. Whether it's putting it into a Think of It or the email marketing or how you're going to get it out to the people. If you do not have the space to do those second and third order things to make it successful, then you're wasting your time. And if you have the resources, I advise you to hire someone like me, but hire someone that has the capacity to help you execute flawless customer journeys. You want every one of your services to be the Buc-ee's on the stops inside your customer journey while people are traveling through your business ecosystem. And if you've been to Buc-ee's, you know it's the whole thing. You can get brisket, go to the bathroom, buy some clothes. It's a whole experience going to Buc-ee's. But as a small business owner, your services need to have the Buc-ee's effect so that people want to travel through the journey to get there. That's all I have for you guys today, and I will see you in the next episode of More Than a Brand. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Remember, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the new upcoming episodes. And if you want to, find us on social media at fierceified.agency on Instagram, or find us on Facebook at Fierceified Creative and Consultant.